This is how nice this guy is. He has extra stuff for the other bartenders because not only does he make sure he's okay, he doesn't. He wants to make sure.
Absolutely.
And it's really about having a sense of responsibility because you're not Superman and you can't be everywhere at once. But your goal, if your goal is I want my customers and my guests to have the best experience, I don't even care if it's another bartender, then you naturally start doing these things. I'm always sharing my stuff. I'm always like, here's a tea strainer, here's this. And that's an important, I think, mentality to have when you're doing this. And then let's do beer openers. So you have the one. You have to show me this because you opened two at once.
Yes.
You were telling me, is this the one you'd use it for?
Actually, I got another one. Anyway, as well, even this time, I used to have two, only for the reason because I used to open 2 beer at the time. Okay, and plus, sometime, like you said, someone forgot hers. Okay,
yeah,
you can borrow mine for today. Yes. But the reason because I have 2 all the time, it's because I open 2 beer at a time, so I'm more faster.
Yeah,
basically, is this.
Yeah,
that's it.
You can get this at Williams in Sonoma for $10. This thing is amazing. You grate. And it's a citrus stripper too. You can make little citrus peels. And what the really cool thing is, you're doing you're doing like lemons, and this thing is just really good at getting only the best part. The white is really here. Can you zoom in on this? You're getting almost no white when you're dealing with pith, whether it's a lemon or a lime. It's really the enemy of flavor. It makes things taste like bitterness and wood, and when you're making these kind of bright citrusy drinks, it's just not what you want. But the great thing is, look how perfect that lemon twist is.
Exactly. I can feel the smell from me.
And there's so much flavor in this tiny thing, and it's not even just what there is, it's what there isn't. Where you'll go to a nightclub and you'll have like a big thing and it's like 90% white. So you're not getting nearly the amount of flavor because the oils have to compete with all the bitterness and the woodiness, and at the end of the day you can't taste it. So when you get a really good one like this is worth it just for the channel knifing here, but everything else is really good too.
Another couple, I got zester,
just like this one.
Yes, exactly like this one. This one is a little bit bigger,
for the big chocolate bars.
Yeah, the point is, I used to use this in 3 sections. Okay, so I used to use the section on top for citrus, and the section on the bottom for spice.
Yeah.
So on the top I used to zest like orange, lime, as well as lemon. And on the bottom you can go with cinnamon as well, and nutmeg. That's all. That's all it is. One of the most popular. Anyway, this is a tea strainer. Tea strainer, very, very important for double straining. For example, you're gonna have liquid. You're gonna have any kind of liquor you wanna. Put the case. I put fresh juice. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna double strain. Put the case right now inside here was pulp.
Or you know what you can do? You can double strain also with the julep. And you can control how fine you want the drink to be. So it's like you make orange juice. Do you want home style?
Exactly.
Do you want a little bit of pulp? Do you want extra?
Exactly.
And it can change from drink to drink.
Exactly. So that's why. Talk with the guest. Talk with the customer. Making sure what do they want.
Well, with juice I use the tea. But you know where I like to use the double? If you make a drink with chocolate and you make with a lot of little things of chocolate, I want some little things of chocolate to go in it, and I don't want all of them.
Exactly.
So so you kind of have a little bit of a rougher consistency, but with some drinks it's what you want. So you kind of can make that decision. You can control by using these 3 in combination. You can say, okay, well, what do I want? What do I want it to taste like?
Yes.
And it's good to use this and this together because if you use just this, sometimes all the leaves pile up.
Yes. So you want to actually
rinse it out 3 times every time you make the drink. So it's good when you're using them together.
So you want to handle exactly like this. You want to keep on top of the drink a little bit to make sure everything in it. Because if you leave on top, it may be gonna touch the other lid. It's not really fancy. Okay.
Yeah. And then absinthe.
Which actually we have the same.
Yeah.
Okay? So tongue's very important. You technically should be not use your hands to garnish a drink. You should be using your tongues, okay? Because actually there is some gas at the bottom. A little bit peaky.
I was reading about this. I think it was Kazuo Ueda, one of the Japanese bartenders, and he says, in Japan when you use your hands it's okay because the understanding is the bartender washed his hands 8 times before he touched your drink. So you have so much trust
I know.
that it's okay if they use their hand. I like, I just use it a lot.
Absolutely.
It's just when you start working and you're like, oh, they want an extra olive. You're like, okay, here, and you just get used to it, and then using your hand starts to feel weird. I feel like there's something sacred about this space. You can use your hands, but when you reach over to them, especially, you want to, it feels weird for me to like.
Absolutely,
I feel like it breaks the spell.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
You break the moment. Exactly. Yeah. So you can finish the moment with hands. Nice.
Yeah. And copper, any metal, will conduct. It'll stay colder long. It'll frost on the outside.
Absolutely.
So if you've never had drinks out of, a julep cup or a muscat mule, it's just a fun experience.
Yes,
and you should. It's one of those things where if you do it for a guest or you do it for someone, they're like, they like it because they've never had it. Even how many people have you talked to in a restaurant? They've never had a drink in a silver or copper.
Tons.
Yeah. So when you give that to them,
exactly.
I keep this in my kit, like just for that reason. I'm like, when I see someone, I'm like, have you ever had one of these? And they're like,
no.
So,
I'll make you one.
It's the glass itself will start the conversation sometimes. So it's good. And then
it's a melon ball,
Yeah.
Melon scooper.
Yeah.
So, very good for ornamental drink. You can use it for cantaloupe, you can use it for honeydew melon, you can use it for watermelon, you can use it for the yellow melon. So, depend of the season.
Yeah. But good to have.
Exactly. Extremely cheap.
Or
very good to have.
Very small.
Even papaya, even mango, even peaches, even,
anything you can puree, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay?
To start your own bar kit, it's much easier now than it's ever been before. I remember we had to order everything online. We had to go to New York. We had to go to specialty stores. We had to go to restaurant stores. We had to go. It was a nightmare. And now, you go to Williams-Sonoma and they have, this. They have, they'll have. I think they have presses.
Yeah, they have any kind of scoop, shaker,
their bar
high-end
spoons
shaker.
are great.
Yeah.
They used to have only the European shakers, which I don't really like, and it's hard to make volume.
Yes,
with them.
you can.
So it's now you can really do a lot, but my kind of. To start off, there's Williams-Sonoma. If you're just traveling, you can just go in and see what you like. Cocktail Kingdom is fantastic. They do really good high-end barware. Uber Bar Products is really good. It's a company in Australia that just does really sexy kind of nightclub type stuff, but really, really solidly built and really high end. And they have a jigger actually where you pour into these little cavities, little plastic cavities in the jigger, and that tells you how much it's going to be. And it's really kind of space.
Wow.
It's like spaceship.
I will check it out.
Bartending. So those are three good places to start. And then there's lower end, there's bar products in this. I would say just like with fashion, you want to start with the high end and just look at quality. And then when you buy cheaper, at least kind of know what you're looking for. And after a while, you're going to start to feel when something is solid and when something is good value. Like this was very cheap, but you can feel just by the way it's built, it's microplane, that it's very, very solid. But in the beginning, it's good to start off and looking at higher quality products. Even, you'll see a mixing glass like $60. They're like, how do they get away with that? But you just kind of look at the details. And, so much of this, it's like when you wear a shirt or you wear a suit, so much of it is detailing. And so much of it is the experience that you have of just making the drink. And if you think about something like absinthe, they had a lot of absinthe spoons, a lot of absinthe drips. And that was how they got women into bars. Women could drink for one of the first times in, 1860s, 1870s. And so there's a pleasure in getting tools that look really nice. And sometimes it's worth a little bit extra, if you buy, because so much of this stuff you don't need, so much stuff you walk into the bar and they have, but so you buy it really for your own pleasure. When you make drinks all the time, you're always like, well, how do I make the experience more fun for me? Because if it's fun for you, it's going to be fun for them. People tell when you're having fun, right?
Yes.
You can't fake. You're not like, oh, and make you more drinks today. When you're there. Yes. People can feel it. So I'm always looking for ways, and I'm sure you're like this too. You're always looking for ways like how can I make my experience better? Exactly. And then when your experience is good, other people are just gonna respond to that. So I hope you guys learned stuff, and we've been wanting to make this for a while. So I'm glad we had a chance today. And,
yes.
We'll see you soon.
Exactly.